Welcome to Draw One Last Breath Horror Podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm Butch.
I'm Geordie Paul. As you can hear, Geordie Paul's not here with us on this one, but on this episode 169, we have been to Netflix to watch Something in the Water, and our movie from the vault is none other than Death Screams, picked by Geordie Paul. There's a trend coming on here that you don't come on when he picks the movies. Is this a thing?
I don't know. It was my fault yesterday. It's my fault today. We were supposed to record yesterday, and it's not happened. We had some hospital drama. Everyone's happy. Everyone's good. But we just we got pulled around, so just didn't work out. But
Nothing
we
happened.
It's all good, because next episode we're going to be opening some presents. We're going to be watching Christmas horror movies. It's going to be great. So we'll have Geordie Paul back. Lovely.
Yeah, Geordie Paul's not here at the moment. He's gone to watch some dodgy show called the Late Night Toy Show or something. Doesn't sound good with me. Dodgy as.
Hello everyone, Geordie Paul here. Really sorry I missed another podcast, but life has got in the way.
All right.
He'll be back next episode.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. I guess we'd talk about what's going on. What did you watch in the last couple of weeks, mate? Have you watched much?
I went to the cinema and watched Wicked. It's got horror elements in it.
Who did you watch it with?
I took my daughter with me. So yeah.
Has she seen it twice then?
Yep, she's seen it twice now.
Over 5 hours worth of Wicked. Not bad.
She loves it. She absolutely loves it. I mean, I really liked it, I'll be honest. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it.
It's like a two-parter, right?
Correct, yeah. But there are definitely some horror bits in it. I'm telling you, big time. So, yeah, go and watch it. And then the only other really thing I've watched that I think we're going to touch on in the next episode is the first 3 episodes of the Creep Tapes, which I'm thoroughly enjoying.
Yes, and they're nice. They're 25 minutes long.
Yeah.
I will be getting into. I've watched the first one, so I'll be watching a couple more so we can discuss.
And I've got a little bit of homework for you and Geordie Paul, because I think you'll like this very much. Now, I saw online basically a clip when I was going through the old TikTok, and somebody mentioned about a horror short, and it's only about 15 minutes long, but it's practical effects, and it's called Up on the Housetop. It's like I said, 15 minutes long. It's a bit of a horror comedy, but I'm not going to say anything about it. It's based on Christmas. It's brilliant. You need to go check it out. It's really good fun.
Send me the link on our little.
I will. It's called Up on the Housetop. And so anybody out there who wants a little bit of Christmas fun with all practical effects, go and check it out. What have you been watching?
Well, I had a promise to fulfill. I'm carrying on my the series of Subspecies, so I went and watched Bloodstone Subspecies 2.
Why have you done that to yourself?
Do you know what? It is a better movie, honestly. The production value is a little bit better. His fingers aren't as long. But it follows straight from the second movie, and they kind of just do a bit of an upgrade. Vlad doesn't look as like charcoal. It's just like he's still kind
licking butt plugs.
Hey, there's a lot of stalking. He's chasing after the Bloodstone. So, and his mother's in it and her sister. It's very odd. But then I was like, okay, I want really fucking odd. It's been a long time since I checked out a new zombie movie, and this is in the zombie movie genre. It's called A Virgin Among the Living Dead, from 1973. So it's very, Geordie Paul. And it's just weird. It's about a girl who's sort of like arrived from London. She's supposed to see her family. It's in this remote town, and everyone's thinking, there's no one living in this house. And she goes there, and they're all sort of there, and they're all fucking having blood orgies and all sorts of weird stuff's happening. She's having dreams about being severely raped by her uncle. It's so fucking weird and dodgy, but I kind of liked it. So yeah, go and check that one out. Virgin Among the Living Dead. Got a right treat. I don't know, I watched M. Night Shyamalan's Trap, because I wanted to before the end of the year. I gave it about a 7 out of 10, mate. I think it was, as a movie, it was good. Like, he was good. Shannon Tate was good. It was well produced. The story worked, and I loved the kind of thriller, the cat and mouse of it all. And his daughter played the pop star, right?
That's correct, yes.
So she was great. So she's just
You
done.
know, they did a whole, basically, like, they made, she's a singer, so they basically made all those songs for this film. And, like, all the choreography and everything. And can you see the similarities between this and, like, Smile 2?
Yeah.
Very similar. Different, storylines, but...
Oh, yeah, the horror's light, there's elements, but not a lot. And it's like, it's mainly about, like, the sadistic nature of him all. And it's so intriguing. It's such an intriguing
It's about
character.
how many times can you lie to your daughter about leaving her on her own?
I'm going to get you a t-shirt, I promise. I might get you a wristband.
I'm going to get some food. Oh, I've got a dodgy stomach. I need to go to the toilet.
He's
should we go down that trap door that someone's just left open strategically, that no one's falling down? Is it a death trap?
Yeah. It was interesting. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. All right. That's me. I guess we do talk news.
Yeah. What you got?
A little bit. I've seen a poster for the new 28 Years Later.
What did you think?
I mean, it looks like every other, the other two posters, but it kind of just, I don't know, it just makes me excited. I think it's got like a nice little tagline on it, which was like, spoilers, has time didn't heal anything.
I
mean, it starred Jodie Comer in it, Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Ralph Fiennes. And I think Cillian Murphy does make an appearance in it, I think, but it's obviously following maybe a different group of people. No, I'm not sure. Don't know. It's out June, I think, next year.
Right.
So
okay.
That's exciting.
Interesting. Right? Yeah. I can't wait for it. It's going to be interesting what kind of route they take. Because, like, obviously it's all like hearsay and stuff at the moment. But yeah, I just hope they don't shit the bed on it.
We are recording also on the 6th of December, and this is a very important day for Kickstarters everywhere. How to Kill Monsters is being released in the US, so get streaming, guys, US listeners. Very cool practical effects movie. We've talked about it on the pod plenty. We love Stuart Sparks, love Lindsay Crane, love this fucking brand of horror movie, and we will be getting our little goodies before Christmas.
Yeah, so we backed this project, so we're waiting on it. We've had some news. Things are getting packaged up. They're just waiting on the Blu-rays, and I think then they're going to be out before Christmas, we hope. So, but we know how hard it is making these things, but we cannot wait. And we'll do like a little talk on it when we get the package and stuff.
I believe if we check our emails imminently, we will be having a digital copy sent to us, so to watch. So I might want to check that bad boy out again.
Check our names out in the credits.
Yeah, mate, get that shit on TikTok. It's cool. So yeah, there's that. There's a plethora of other movies that are due out, mainly US. But I don't think we got fucking anything like decent coming like our way. Like UK, like Shudder's getting a film called Getaway that Nick Frost did with what's her face, the comedian.
I saw the clip of it, where it's a family that go on holiday vacation, don't they, to some kind of like cult thing.
It does look very funny and looks very good.
Yeah, he's doing a lot at the moment, isn't he?
There's also a load of werewolf stuff coming out. There's like 5 or 6 werewolf movies. There's like, I know we got Wolfman in January with like Lee Whannell, but like there's this Frank Grillo Werewolves, which is like Aliens 2 or Aliens, but with fucking werewolves. It's like military.
That comes out like today, apparently.
Yeah, but where? Not in the bloody UK.
No, of course it ain't. Of course it ain't. So
yeah.
If you lovely people have some screeners, send them our way.
Please.
That'd be lovely jubbly.
Looks incredible. And there's another Christmas horror movie coming out next couple of weeks, which we might be talking about later. All right, then, dude. You got any news?
Yeah, well, I've got a bit of news. Second Sight, we've talked about very briefly about their releases. So on the 9th of December, which will be out now, the day this podcast going out, there is a limited edition Blu-ray box set and a standard edition Blu-ray coming out of Creep, because obviously all the hype around the Creep tapes, they've re-released Creep on a Second Sight, beautiful box set as usual. So it's got loads of extras in there. Oh my God, there's new audio commentary, there's archive footage, there's an interview called Peach Fuzz that looks fucking insane, there's intros, there's like a 10 years of Creep live Q&A, there's alternative scenes, there's so much stuff on this thing. There's a 70-page booklet in the special edition as well, with 6 collector's art cards. Mate, people need to go and buy this because it's beautiful. As always, Second Sight smashing it out of the park.
Mate, I love Mark Duplass. I loved him in the league. I just think he's fucking great. So
Such a good actor. And
yeah.
Creep tapes. Oh, obviously, you've watched some of the episodes, haven't you? We're going to talk about that on the next episode with Geordie Paul. I think he'll be upset if we do that without him.
Yeah, exciting. Really cool. That is really fucking cool. Right, we got anything else?
Not from me, dude.
Fucking, let's just tuck into some lovely shark fun and get on to our main review.
Take a deep breath. Let tension drop away.
It's good to see you. The Fantastic Five back together again. This is a vacation, remember? Sorry, it is my actual wedding. Where are we going then? This is supposed to be an adventure. How do you even know about this place? Who did you shag? This is perfect. Ruth? It's a shark! There's no signal. Slow down! Stop the boat! Are we gonna sink? I can't swim. I just need to hold on. We can do this, right?
Take a deep breath.
Phone's dead. I'm so sorry this is happening.
Draw awareness to the ground underneath your feet.
Someone needs to swim for help. I don't know if I can do this much longer.
Notice any anxiety. Exhale and allow it to release.
Hungry, are you? Come on then, you bastard.
Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Repeat to yourself, I am safe.
This episode's main review is Something in the Water. Came out earlier in the year. It got a cinema release. Didn't smash the box offices, but it has got a little Netflix treat now, and it's did very quite well in the charts. The plot follows a group of girls who've been estranged and meeting in the Caribbean for a wedding, and shit goes down. This one's a hard one this is like Matt's favourite genre, like survival thriller. You know, this is one of your faves, man. We've had The Fall, we had In the Shallows, fucking, what was that weird one we had in a lighthouse that was, they were scuba diving. Can you remember that one?
I love that one, yeah. The dive.
Yeah, there's been some, absolute gems in this genre. Has this one lived up to the hype for you, Matt?
Do you want the real honest answer?
Oh, yes.
No. I think, unfortunately with this one, I think everybody's saying, "Ooh, shark movie. I love a shark movie. Let's stick it on." And I think that's why it's so far up the charts, because people have been duped into it. And unfortunately, it's not very good. Yeah. Yeah,
the plot's like, so these two girls are, we see them at the beginning, Meg and Kayla, and they're in a lovely relationship, and some people start shouting homophobic slurs at them. The other's like, "Fuck you, I ain't taking this shit." And she gets the absolute shit, 10 bells of shit kicked out of her. And then we sort of fast forward to them meeting again. She's obviously trying to get through this trauma, or this got a bit of PTSD. They're not together at the moment. And then some other stuff like gets unraveled throughout. But they basically take a boat out like for the day before the wedding, and one of them gets half their leg bitten off, and then shit goes down from there. That was a weird one though, because it was started off, that was quite rough, like eminence of that film Unwelcome, which made you feel very uneasy. And I was okay, interesting. We've got the trauma here, and then with the leg being bitten off, like, which was the effects on that was fantastic. It was really, really gory and really, really visceral. It came out of nowhere. She's quite, it was just like, what the fuck? So I was like, okay, this has got legs.
Terrible.
Really, really bad. But yeah, we just didn't get any backstory. We had a little bit, but it's just like, I didn't really give a shit about these 5 women.
No, I think that was the problem. Like, there were no relatable characters, and I really didn't want any of them to survive because they were all really annoying. And apart from the leg chomp, there wasn't really anything else redeeming, because it's like there was nothing else to follow. It was like, I just feel like not much in this movie was done that hasn't been done already, and things have been done way better. It was just slow, monotonous. Like, I just think, like, the characters were just not fleshed out enough. I just didn't believe them. It was just unbelievable, some of the stuff. It's a shark movie at the end of the day, and, you take it for what it is, but it just felt so slow. The pace of it was pretty bad and off.
Do you know what? It might be funny when we talk about our early 80s slasher earlier. I can watch any 80s movie that's kind of a bit rough around the edges because it's got that roughness. This just felt, I want to say too polished. It just doesn't, if you're going to here's a bit of advice for someone to get if you're going to make a movie, make it a bit, I don't know, rough and ready. Put a bit of, put something on the lens or something like that. It's just,
this is like, if I could describe it in any way, this is a shark movie for Hollyoaks fans, if you get what I'm saying. You see what I mean? So,
if you like.
Afternoon, bit hungover after the night before, get a takeaway, sit there and watch it and not really pay attention, and then regret your choices.
Yeah. It's just that you're right. It's just it's so thin on like on character development, on any characterization sort of throughout. So you don't really associate with any of them. But it's also just the plot's a bit thin. There's no real, those events that sort of make a film tantalizing. Like, let's compare it to Fall. That's a lot more. The stakes are a lot higher. There's less characters.
Yeah, and they're stuck in a tiny little, like a tiny little tower. Like, what can you do with this film? And they used everything. They used the scenery.
Yeah.
They used the sound. They used, the acting, everything. But this one, it just felt like they used nothing. There's just like loads of drone shots, which look great, but there was just no substance behind it. It's a real shame. Because the trailer made it look really cool. I think the trailer made it look, wow.
Great trailer. They've done a great trailer.
Even the poster as well, with the, them at the surface of the water, and the writing looks cool and stuff like that. You just think, oh wow, this could be cool. And it's also British. So, we want to champion this sort of thing, but not when it's a bit kind of like,
We've seen it done slightly better. Like, if you look at In the Shallows with Blake Lively, that was decent, and that was only her kind of riding that whole movie. That even those, I can't remember, it was a couple of years back, there was it's Open Water, I think it was called. Yeah. That wasn't a horror. That was like a kind of a
64 meters below, or 62.
Yeah, those sorts of things.
Yeah,
a bit more peril. Yeah, it needed a bit more peril. Even though they're in the middle of the water and someone, I can't swim. Oh, I better have this boy. And then let's have them discussions. Oh, let's try and get our trauma out in the middle of the ocean. I don't know. It's sort of like somebody's idea of kind of, they've had a traumatic event and this is how they're sort of dealing with it. Fine. It works on that edge maybe. But it's just for an hour and a half movie, it was a bit thin.
Yeah, it was, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, not really much more to say on it, really. There's not much to say.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
We get, the characters get peeled off, but not in any real excitement way.
No. I mean, and at the end, it's just like, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, I think they tried to really go for this redeeming arc of like, never let go and never give up. And, no matter how life is, you mustn't ever give up. And even if it takes all of your friends to be eaten by a shark on their wedding day, life goes on.
Yeah. So,
no shit's given.
Yeah, so now what we're going to do is we're going to hear from Geordie Paul.
Oh, God, here we go. This is going to be fun.
So something in the water. Well, you know how I'm a bit of a sucker for a shark movie. But I think they should fall under some sort of trade standards laws that it's an actual shark movie, because there's hardly any shark in it. I thought it was really, really bad, guys. I thought it was really poor. I thought the acting was really bad. Storyline was just non-existent, and it was just pointless. Trying to shoehorn a PTSD storyline into it, which never really went anywhere. Really poor effects. I thought just really silly scenes where there's a shark just sort of circling them and they're all laughing at it was just a bit weird. And like the end, it just built up to nothing really. And I just daft and really poor. So this is probably one of the worst films I've seen all year. And in that, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10.
Right. So that was Geordie Paul's thoughts and prayers. Sounds like I really liked it. I can imagine. How are we rating this one?
Oh my God, you can go first, mate, because you always find redeeming facts, and you kind of.
Well, I'm going to give it a 2. I think a 2, but yeah, a 2's fair. It had something in terms of
the leg bite was worth
leg bite. And it was, again, it had a good fun production. Music was alright. So there you go.
I'd say
2.
another point for location. So yeah, 2 from me as well. That's about it. Shame, real shame.
Yeah.
I was hoping this was going to be a banger.
Give us some good to eat, please. We've had 2 poops and I want some, please. Never mind. Let's pick something. We're going to pick something good. Well, soon. I can't wait. We've gone for a little bit of a dip, but it's all right.
Just on the fact as well, if you do want to go and check out a good shark movie, there's one that's, again, British made, but they've got American accents, but still, it's called The Last Breath. See that draw on Last Breath? The Last Breath. It's really good. That's really good, because they use a lot of underwater cameras and they did a lot of cool stuff like that. So go and check that one out instead. Don't waste your time on this. So for the next podcast, we have had a treat from our friend Charlie Steeds. We've had him on the podcast before talking about stuff, but we have managed to get a first look at his Christmas movie, He Sees You When You're Sleeping. So a Christmassy one for the next episode, which will be good fun. Thanks, Charlie.
Can't wait. We needed a new Christmas horror, so what did we watch last year? Christmas Bloody Christmas. Was it a Joe Beagle special last year?
Oh, mate, that was amazing. Loved it.
There we go. Come on. Okay, without further ado, let's move on to our movie from the vault.
Lily, Ramona, Kathy live for kicks, but someone's killing for kicks. You will feel their terror. You will see their horror. Death screams. Rated R.
Okay, so Geordie Paul picked this one out of the bag. This one is Death Screams from 1982. Little synopsis for you. In a small town in North Carolina, a group of friends are stalked by a mysterious machete-wielding maniac. That makes it sound better than it was, that's for sure.
I mean, they've done a good job there.
Yeah. Well, so here we go. Death screams. So what we're thinking, slasher from the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So started off a bit naughty, wasn't it? Down by the river. I thought, hello. There we go. 2 minutes in.
It's very Southern, isn't it, as well? I don't know if we've seen that many Southern horror movies. That was quite interesting, for one thing to note. But you're right. Now, this is what I got so confused because it's so dark, this movie, like, as in, like, production-wise. So I didn't know what happened at the start. It was basically two people getting it on. They're having sex down by the riverfront under a train.
Yeah, I think so. Train tracks.
So I thought he killed her at first, the one who was, like, messing around.
Penis.
That would have been an interesting kill. But yeah, so train goes over and we get 2 deaths in one, basically, as the murderer is not revealed. I mean, this is a very elusive stalker of the night.
I couldn't even understand what he did to them, to be honest. It was so dark.
No idea. I'm guessing he stuck a machete through. Now we know that he must have been a machete.
Maybe, yeah. Or a harpoon.
Yeah. But this is like 2 murders. So they're like, oh, we've done a lot there. We did a lot there in that first 5 minutes. So let's
double kill straight off.
Yeah. Let's take it easy. Let's establish a lot of character development throughout the movie. And we get some great characters in this. We're got to discuss them all.
I mean, there was probably, let's say, how long's the movie? What? 1 hour, like what? 1 hour, 1 hour and 28 minutes. So there's probably about 1 hour and 20 minutes of character building. And then about 8 minutes of good stuff. I literally was like, am I watching the right thing? I was like, this is like a really kind of
like Animal House.
So the Dukes of Hazzard or something.
Or Dukes of Hazzard, yeah, that works for me. Like an extreme, like a padded out Dukes of Hazzard movie with the town slut Ramona. It
was the randiest town I've ever seen in my life.
So randy. The sheriff was at it. I mean, it all centered around this carnival that was going off, and we meet so many characters. I think I don't know who this guy, the local coach, basically makes advances towards one of the girls, Lily, and I'm like, and then he gets his car shaving foamed at one stage, but I don't know why. If he's the coach, why is he allowed to hit on the high school girls?
Well, this is the other thing, the typical slasher of the 80s, where they cast like 39-year-olds as 17-year-olds even. It's hilarious. Some of the blokes look older than my dad. It's crazy.
It was questionable. Lots of pretty young girls, lots of older men. It was a bit weird. And seedy. But had a prankster in it, old Diddle. You like Diddle, didn't you? It was a good name. Diddle the prankster.
Oh my God, Diddle.
They have called her Nubile Ramona, but she was after literally everyone, the coach,
Yeah, that whole scene where she was going for the coach and he was like, no, I'm not having none of it, mate. I don't want you.
I mean, right, so there's a scene where the coach is having a shower. So for you ladies out there, a nice bit of butt. She comes in to his house, right?
Lets us up in his house.
And she's like, ooh, starts getting frisky, takes off her bra, and he's like, what? It's that whole, POV to approaching the shower scene. And we're thinking, oh, is he going to get it? And no, he was going to get it, but he didn't quite get it. So yeah, it was a weird scene. She gets chucked out.
And he throws her in the shower.
Throws her in the shower.
And you know that was for the purposes of the director. He's like, right, now you must, whatever you do, you must throw her in that shower. She has to get wet.
Yeah, she's wearing a see-through bra, so we need to see everything.
Yeah. Pervy director moment.
Pervy director moment, definitely. But they're all going discussing a bonfire. I want to discuss the kissing booth, because that made me laugh.
There's always a certain element, and I you've got hats off to them, and with these 80s kind of slashes, it's always the music is almost comedic. There's always like a bit stupidity, and then you've always got that comedy moment, which you got to give it to them. And what happens?
This young, attractive. This again. We say young. I don't know how old she is. No idea, but she's kissing like 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, right? For like $1, I think.
$1, yeah.
And then this old man comes up and she puts it straight up to $5 or $5, I don't know. So
he doesn't even pay it, does he? Just walks off.
Yeah.
He's gutted.
No kiss for him. That's so weird. And and then I don't know what happened with this. You're going to have to explain this scene to me.
Well, this is the problem. There's so much plot and so much character building. I forgot what was going on. I was like, are we watching a horror still? It's just like, it took so long to get to a point.
I enjoyed the journey though, because it was so bonkers, because you don't see this a lot where they stretch it out this much.
It was a lot.
The feat of strength, where they get one over on the carnival guy. What happens there? I don't know why she was going to hit it, and then she won. I don't know. Okay, irrelevant. But it's fine. But
a lot of this film was irrelevant.
But we do get a cheeky death, don't we? We get the jealous ex-girlfriend Sarah witnessed a bit of flirtation that she didn't like.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then she goes
arrow in the shoulder.
Arrow in the shoulder, and then suffocated with a plastic bag. Now, we know who the murderer is now later on, I guess, right? So we know why. If you watch it with a different lens, if you watch it again, so she gets put on a carousel and she's dead. So we get a nice death, and then I'm like, okay, exciting. What's going to happen next? Nothing.
For about another 40 minutes.
I think there was like maybe like a off-screen kill at one stage that we didn't see.
Maybe. Something
happened, something that's weird. There's lots of pervy sheriffs and all sorts of stuff. Ramona's just like having a real bad time in this. She's I guess, she's not a central character, but she's sort of got a lot of meat on the bones.
I forgot who was like trying it on with who in the end. I was like, they're all just trying to get it on with each other. It's just like confusing.
It's nuts. And then like they're having a bit of, they're having a party, the classic. They're having the party down to things, smoking a bit of dope and hooking up and drinking beers and all that sort of stuff.
Diddle's having a diddle.
Diddle's trying to have a diddle, but he has too much drink. So his girlfriend Sandy takes a dip that she will never come back from. Which this is a typical 80s movie. The music changes to this real fucking like dreamy, seedy music where she's just like as much nudity as they can ram in a minute, and then we get the two people from earlier who died suddenly float down on her.
Yeah.
And then what? She gets another. Does she get an arrow?
Yeah, something like that. Some kind of harpoon for her or something.
She's all right. Another cheeky death. We're ramping up here. And I'm thinking, I'm looking at the time, and I'm like,
there's about 8 minutes left.
What the fuck's going to happen?
And then this is the point where they go, right, okay, oh shit, what are we going to do? Let's write that they go to a creepy house. Yeah, cool, let's do that. So then we start getting the creepy house kind of thing. And then obviously it's like, I'll be right back moment for a diddle. Who has to go and take a shit. And this is where I was thinking, this was definitely where Butcher would die. Go and take a shit in the outhouse.
I've got to.
Like, you'd be gone. Yeah, you have no choice, you have to.
There'd be a moment that I definitely needed to leave and have to go to the toilet. So I would be...
Dupe. whereby the what was it, a rat or something comes out, doesn't it? It's like, oh, thank God.
That's all right. I mean, there's no like
And then
great.
an off-screen kill again.
Yeah, we find him upside down, but it's fine. But then what happens next is the craziest fucking thing ever. It's like all this shit that doesn't really happen. They just ram in the last like 5 minutes. It's like we have.
It's like the last 2 minutes of the film.
We have heads getting lopped off, double hand amputation. You know, just like the special effects guy's here for like an hour, and he's like, let's get it in.
We've got it for an hour. That's all we've got. I know what we can do. We can make one of them fall through the stairs. So we don't have to see really what happens. So I was like, what is going here? What is going on?
It wasn't bad. Ramona bit the dust.
I was just like, I don't know how they're going to get through this one. What?
Yeah, ran upstairs, and then there's like 3 of them left, and they're like, you know, in a room, and the crazy guy with a machete, who turns out it's Coach Neil, right? Right? Is it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Now,
I don't know, he wasn't naked with his butt in our face, so
this is the coach, and why is he killing it? So, one what I can make out is that I think his girlfriend was cheating at the start, right, with the guy, so that's why those 2 bit it. And then obviously, the other one, there's another ex, lipped off at him, so she bit it. And then, why did he kill the rest of them?
Because
he's just
an
mental.
Angry man.
He was an angry man. He jumped out the bloody window, didn't he? And then just got shot about 65 times in the face.
I mean, he was dead anyway, but the old sheriff, was it the sheriff that came up?
It was another guy. I think it wasn't the sheriff. The sheriff and this other guy look really similar.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the one who owns the diner.
They'd done something. Didn't they kill his brother by accident?
Right.
And that was another different plot twist, that they killed his brother and he wasn't happy about him, and it wasn't their fault really because somebody else was driving. Like they stuck that in halfway through.
I feel like this was a precursor to I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's like some elements of that in there. Maybe. Loosely.
Yeah, but so many films have done it better, haven't they? I mean, like, you know, revenge kind of like slashers. There's like so many out there that are so much better. So much better.
What was that one that we watched? It was not Prom Night, but it was the one with the woman and the brother at the house, and then he's doing all the killing. Oh God, I can't remember what it was fucking called now. Driller Kid. I don't know. He went all weird. One of them went all weird, and it turned out he was a killer. I can't remember. It's not Driller Kidder, obviously, but it's like one of those weird ones. There's so many good. But, you know, I've never seen this one. Death Screams. It's alright. You know, it was unique. I'll tell you one thing. It was unique in the sense that, of like, how plot heavy it was. You know? Like, that's one big, maybe there was another one. What was the one where they were playing paintball at the start?
Oh, yes, I remember that. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. You picked that one.
I did. I can't really remember it. It was
Kelly Maroney's in it.
Kelly Maroney's in it. Yeah, that's really good. Sort of thereabouts. It dies a little bit, but then it just sort of ramps up. But this one just like nothing happens in the middle, really. It's hilarious. But you must have some Matt's facts on this, man.
I'll tell you what, mate. There wasn't much. I really did have to scrape the barrel for this one. There wasn't much out there. I went on YouTube and everything, and there just wasn't much about it, which is really strange. I don't think there's like massive cult following for it or anything like that. But
it got an Arrow released, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, and it didn't do very well. But the police officer taking pictures during the final sequence was an actual sheriff officer from the Rutherfordton County Sheriff's Department who was asked to join to make it more realistic, which is quite funny. This is good. The Hustler magazine, the young boy hides behind his yellow polo shirt as a publication date of 1981 May with a cost of $3.50. A lot of money in those days. Yeah. And, that's pretty much it. Total deaths, 12, 6 women, 6 men. So equal opportunities.
Quite a lot, but there's some key things you missed here. It includes the, Playboy Playmate for the month of January 1977, Susan Lynn Kigger. She played Lily.
True, but see conflicting things there, because the facts I've got is it was a Hustler and not a Playboy magazine.
No, I mean she was in it.
Oh, right, okay.
Playmate.
Well, that figures.
Yeah, Playmate.
I mean, there's a couple of reasons why they had all those women in there.
There's a lot of cast in this. It's
Mm.
also got a couple of alternative names. It was released as House of Death and Night Screams as well.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting. So, there's some couple of interesting things on it. If I left, the main character list is incredible, but none of them have really gone on to do much. So,
the one fact is that the director, David Nelson, he did a couple of other things. He's known for Cry Baby, Up in Smoke, Cheech and Chong. He's producer of a couple of films. He's got a lot of stuff in the 80s. So, a lot to do with Cheech and Chong by the looks of things. So his thing is comedy, but obviously thought a little crossover with horror would be good at the time and make some money.
Well, let's be honest. We know that time of this was happening, like early 80s, and they were sort of smashing out that VHS era. So this was his piece of the pie, baby. He'd already been directing and been around for quite some time. So this was just his little, why not? And do you know what? Because it's so bad, and it is kind of generally quite bad, but because it's got that 80s feel of it, it still felt very watchable to me.
I don't know, mate. I struggled a bit halfway through. I was just like, come on, it's now time. Start it up, not 4 minutes before the end.
Yeah.
That's the only big problem I had.
It made me giggle. It did make me giggle.
It's a slice of that 80s kind of slasher gone wrong.
Well, we'll put Geordie Paul's thoughts in the end, so you hear what he has to say about his pick. But should we rate it?
Yeah.
I'll let you go first on this one.
I'd probably go for me. It's a 4 out of 10 for me. Yeah.
I fucking liked it. I think it's a 6 for me. It's not average. There's something different about it.
It's average. Okay. It's average.
I'd recommend this to go and watch it to add to your slasher repertoire. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not fussed about much slasher and you just want a bit of comedy boob time, then yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's what we all want this time of year. Amazing. There we go. Right. Death Screams.
So this week's movie from the vault was my pick, and it is Death Screams, also known as House of Death. So, where do I start with this? So it started off all right. There was a bit of a love scene and a murder scene at the same time, but then there was just a whole lot of nothing in the middle. Again, that 80s trope of middle-aged people playing teenagers, but these guys look really, really old, and never for once thought they were children. And then, I didn't really understand where it was going. Everything sort of kind of happened in the last 5 minutes of the film. All the death, the killings, the effects weren't particularly great. And then, like, the whole thing that tied it together, the killer was sort of one of their dads who was kind of rejected by their stripper mum. That's kind of what I got. But again, there was nothing that built that up. So it was very odd. And then kind of at the end, the sort of line at the end where, how did that all happen? And the guy's like, I don't know. And then it just ends. Was just a bit silly. So yeah, not the best 80s slasher. So for that, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
That's done. Let's move on. So we're moving on to Christmas. Matt, it's your pick. What are you pulling out of the old vault for us?
I was digging and digging, and I was like, I want to watch a film that I've never seen before. Now, I don't know if Geordie Paul's seen this. I don't know if you've seen this. But I was going through all sorts of different avenues, and I was thinking at one point, I was like, can I pick Dead Snow? Because there is snow in it, but it's not really Christmas, so I can have it as a Christmas film. So I was a bit gutted about that. But
you can't. Are you saying you can't have Dead Snow as a Christmas movie, but there is snow in there?
but it's not set at Christmas. It's at least got to be set at Christmas. You know, it has to be. So I went for a few. I nearly touched on one called Elves, and then I went and watched a YouTube clip of it, and I was like, I cannot put us through that again because we need to pull ourselves a little bit back. So I've got one that's quite rare. It's called Rare Exports. Have you ever seen that film?
What the fuck? No, not heard of it. No idea.
Do you want me to kind of give you a little synopsis on it?
You don't usually, but yes, I do for this one. It's important.
Well, I just thought I'd maybe give you a little synopsis. So this one, I believe, is Finnish, and the cover looks pretty insane. I've never seen it, but a lot of people rate this as being really good. So yeah, the tagline is, "This Christmas, everyone will believe in Santa Claus."
Yeah, it's 24 years old. 24 years old? Yeah, 24 years old.
Is it 24 years old?
That's 2010. 24 years
Wow.
old.
That's crazy when you look at it like that.
I know, when we think about the movies that we picked, like that 1982 one, that's like 43 years old almost.
Mad.
2 years old. It's crazy. So, this is still in the vault. I've never seen it. Where can we watch it?
Amazon.
Okay.
I think it's Amazon Prime.
Has it got Maggie Boy in it from fucking Harry Potter now? I'm just watching the trailer in the back.
Oh, really?
Okay, this looks batshit and weird. Okay, I'm excited because I've never even heard of this bad boy.
Yeah, that's why I picked it. I was just like, I really want to see something like that none of us have seen.
Okay, to finish the year, we'll be watching a Finnish horror movie. That's not bad. There's going to be lots of puns next time. Don't worry.
I just checked Prime as well. It's definitely on there for free. 1 hour, 23 minutes. Boom.
Banging. Right. There you go. Right. We're keeping these short and sweet. Thanks very much for listening. I hope you like the new condensed format. It won't be like this moving on to next year. But we just thought we'd get a couple of like cheeky ones in. We want to keep the momentum going, and you guys have something to listen to, and for us to actually talk about, because we just still like talking about shit. So why not, eh? If you want to get involved, tell us that we're being fools or anything like that. Our social media's on at the end. Other than that, moving on to episode 170. Our Christmas episode, where we'll be opening our presents again this year to each other, which will be quite exciting. We will be watching Charlie Steed's He Sees You When You're Sleeping. We're really looking forward to that. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to talk about it and review it just before Christmas. And then Matt has just pulled Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale.
Can't get much more Christmassy than that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Of the year. So yeah, without more further ado, there's only one more thing to say. When there's no more room in hell, here's another podcast.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
You can follow us on Twitter @DrawOneLast, Instagram @DrawOneLastBreath, or pop us an email at drawnelastbreathpod@hotmail.com.